What's going on, boys? It's your boy Maxi here, and in today's video I'll show you guys how to have better impact overall. This pretty much works for every single software. I'm gonna show you guys 3 tips that I personally use to let those big beats and especially the big impacts look and also sound better, and just helps you in general to let your clips look a bit better. Today I'm gonna use the song Ghost by Little Shock. It's a pretty upcoming song, so if you want to use it, I would recommend you if you want to hit algorithm pretty soon. And obviously what we need to do first of all is mark those big beats right here. Let's just play through and see where those big beats would be.
Ay, pull up in the ghost on my black dog. Ay, pull up in the coupe going back out. 19, yeah, I hope I see another day. Got your girl, but I think I just need space. Ay, pull up in the coupe, no blacked out. Ay, pull up in the coupe, got my Mac out. 19, yeah, I hope I see another day.
As you can see, those beats are pretty frequent right here. We have around 2.5 seconds between each beat. Obviously, what I just did isn't really good. What I usually do is obviously correct those and make sure they're really exactly on the beat. So right here, I would obviously need to change that a bit up, as well as right here. You can clearly see that frequent beats are a lot easier to overall edit, and the video is more enjoyable to watch. So definitely make sure you mark your song the right way. After you're done marking your song, all you really need to do is import your clip right here. I have a playground clip with like a little clip that I just got today. It's nothing crazy really, just like a few edits. I'm not the best Fortnite player. I usually go something between 40 and 50 milliseconds after the clip. It really depends where like such a frequent beat in the songs, and you can clearly see that right here. There's definitely something which is like basically like just a lyric, but that's enough for me to just like split it basically 40 seconds after. And yeah, you just want to make sure that this matches up pretty good, just like that. We're just gonna trim it like that. And yeah, obviously for the start, we're just gonna need like a bunch of those seconds right here, just like that. And now onto the first effect. What I usually always do is just split my clip 30 frames before the impact, because now I can apply my Twixtor preset. If you want those exact Twixtor settings I use, all you really need to do is buy my editing pack. It's down below in the description. And yeah, in there I have a bunch of more stuff such as project files, overlays, sound effects, and everything you really need to over edit. I also linked a bunch of tutorials in there which I haven't really released yet, so it's definitely worth giving it a shot if you're an over editor. After I've applied my Twixtor preset, this is what we got for now. So as you can see, it's nothing really special, just timer mapping, quick slow-mo before the kill, pretty clean. Now we're already gonna come to the first clip, which is gonna be a screen pump. Like a screen pump is gonna make everything look so much better. What I use personally is blur curves, since I can just drag it on the clip right here and then just basically animate it, and I don't have to go on the pan and crop and do it manually like that. I just like to use certain values I can use for every clips, which just basically work every time. And yeah, what you obviously want to do is just keep the default settings. It doesn't really matter, but you want to animate the Z-dist. And now what you want to do is obviously make a keyframe on the marker, and then it really depends. Like I personally use like a screen pump, like something like 10-15 frames before the kill. Actually, I obviously make that one. You can delete that first keyframe. And now on the impact, you can kind of vary it. Like usually I go something between 0.85 and 0.88 for the screen pump. As you can see, it zooms in a lot pretty much. I have seen people go even lower, but something between 0.9 is pretty usual for a screen pump. And yeah, what you really want to do is now make a keyframe at the end of the clip, basically what we trimmed in the beginning. And now you want to set this to 1 obviously. And yeah, what I usually do now is just slow fade it. Like you just slow fade the keyframe, and as you can see right here, the screen pump pumps in and then it just zooms out again. And I usually slow fade this as well. What you could do now is go on the curves one and click manual, and now you could try to adjust, which I would not really recommend, since this is like more like the After Effects graph editor, but it's super hard to actually work with this. And as you can see, if I just adjust this like a tiny bit, it already messes up every single value. And yeah, so I wouldn't really recommend using this, but you can if you want. I'm obviously gonna reverse this and put this in a slow fade again. If you want to be unique, you can definitely try work with that. And yeah, just with the screen pump, this is what it looks on. And as you can clearly see, like this is super clean right here. And yeah, definitely either fast or slow fade any of those keyframes, since it's gonna let it look 10 times better. But yeah, as you can see right now, the screen pump does its thing. There's like a little impact right here as well, and then it just zooms out again. Goes slow right here, and then what it usually does is transitions into like a blow curve transition or whatever temporary transition, doesn't really matter. But yeah, just try to match up these values, like just let it end at the end of the clip, like the screen pump, let the screen pump end at the end of the clip, so it kind of smoothly transitions into the transition. Now for the second tip, what you really want to do is play around with the sound effects, since the sound effects are very important in my opinion. It can look trash editing, let it look good, but you obviously need to know how to use those sound effects, so don't just throw on random sound effects. So yeah, what I did was added this little before shot right now, which basically sounds like this. As you can see, this little beep 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 sound effect that you hopefully often see before some impacts. What we obviously want as well is a little bar swoosh right here. I got this slight swoosh right here, which is a bit too loud because I put the main track -12. I'm gonna put that -12 as well, which already sounds a lot better in my opinion. And what I'm actually gonna do is fully cut off the in-game audio, and I'm gonna normalize this and make this a bit louder so you can actually hear stuff. It's maybe a bit too loud, stuff like this. This sounds very good. Just smooth fade that, for example, which is very good. And now what you can do is add a little like pull out sound effect, like this is a sniper pull out sound effect, but it doesn't really matter really. You just need to find the frame where you obviously pull out the sniper right here, and then I'm gonna lower this. I'm gonna make this very quiet. Let's see. So basically we need to adjust this a bit. Just like that, we have this nice little sniper pull out sound effect, which pretty much works for every gun. And yeah, what we can obviously do now as well is add some shotgun sound effect. This should probably sound pretty well. Let's hear it. It's a bit too loud, obviously. I'm gonna make this more quiet. And as you can see, this sounds pretty satisfying. I sadly can't link most of these sound effects to you since they're all from paid packs as well. And yeah, what I'm actually gonna do now is add one more sound effect, which is gonna be this dramatic swoosh right here. This one is in my pack, by the way, so if you want that, you can get my pack. Just basically just a build up. And yeah, that is basically everything done with the sound effects. If you just play the song without everything else, all you really need to do if you want that, click the solo button right here if you didn't know that already. Obviously this is without in-game sound now as well, but just a difference. This would be without sound effects, and this would obviously be with sound effects. And yeah, that was basically the second tip. As you can see, those sound effects make this much more enjoyable to overall watch and obviously hear as well. And yeah, onto the third effect is obviously now that you need certain effects to make everything look a bit better. Obviously you can use some of these normal effects, such like a glow, like a shake, or like a blur, whatever. I personally use a lot of blur as well on my impacts sometimes. Let's just start with the shake right here. All we really want to do is add the Maxi Y impact, just like that. And we're going to make this 1, and then we're going to animate this. And we're going to make this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go 12 frames after, which would be right here. And now we're going to make a keyframe, make this 0, make this 0 as well. And now we're going to fast fade this and smooth fade that, just like that. We have now like a little Y impact, which is obviously not going to be enough for our impact wise. We're going to need a tilt check. I'm just going to use this highlights tilt check. I don't really know what preset that is, but it looks kind of okay. As you can see, this is a pretty decent tilt shake. You can obviously copy the settings if you want. I also did a shake tutorial, so if you guys want other shake, I'm gonna leave a link down to that tutorial as well. You can just go on my channel and browse it. I uploaded like 2 weeks ago. And yeah, obviously what we can add now is some special effect. And yeah, obviously you can use any effects really now. I'm just gonna add some rays right here because I feel like it kind of fits. Just gonna need to find out what would look good, probably like this. And now all we really need to do is animate the mocho opacity, yeah, just like that. And you obviously want this to Be like a nice little impact overall. I kind of like it. It's a bit unique. You don't see it a lot. So if you want to use the rays as an impact, you can obviously do that. Obviously you could now add some pinch punch as well, which would fit pretty well. But yeah, as I said, mess around with those effects. Just use some common ones. All those big editors usually use as well. You can obviously over edit a bit as well. But yeah, that's already going to be the end of the video. So as I said, basically add a screen pump, add good effects, mess around with the values of course, and add good sound effects to let your impact, especially those first big impacts, to let those look better and more powerful in general. If you have any questions to this, let me know down below in the comments as well. I'm gonna try answer every single comment I get. And yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and like the video if this was at least a bit helpful. Thank you everyone so much for the support recently. I just hit 45k as well, which is absolutely mind-blowing in my eyes. If you haven't already as well, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, as I'm gonna be posting some updates over there as well, especially on my commissions, which are hopefully gonna open up very soon again. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. Until next one, peace out.